Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I read a troubling article on yahoo.com put out by Fortune and written by Jason Ma, titled, "Six-Figure Earners Are Living the Illusion of Affluence While Working Side Hustles, Skipping Meals, and Pretending Venmo's Not Working." I'll include a link to this article below. I encourage you to check it out. According to the author, even Americans earning six figures are feeling squeezed as the rising cost of living forces those in top income brackets to cut back on expenses and look for ways to stretch their dollars. This is according to a survey from the Harris poll. Well, my friends, this is a sign of the times here in America. A lot of people are having a difficult time dealing with the rising cost of living. They go to the grocery store and get sticker shock at the checkout aisle. Some people bring their vehicle into the repair shop and get sticker shock there as well. Oil changes have gotten more expensive. If you need to even get a simple repair done on one of these high-tech vehicles, it's going to cost you a lot of money in parts and labor. Getting back to the article, the author says, the findings reveal a surprising sense of economic anxiety, with 64% of six-figure earners saying their income isn't a milestone for success, but merely the bare minimum for staying afloat. How times have changed here in America. I remember when I was a kid, people who made $100,000 or more were doing really well. I knew of a gentleman who made barely over $100,000, but he had a really nice custom brick home. He had 2 Mercedes-Benz and a Corvette, and he owned an oceanfront property in Rhode Island. He also had multiple children. Gone are the days when you can do all of that if you make $100,000 a year. It's not going to happen. For a lot of people who make $100,000 a year, if they max out their retirement and they have a mortgage payment and a car payment and they buy food for the family, there's not anything left after that payroll cycle. That's just how it works these days. $100,000 just doesn't stretch as far as it once did. Getting back to the article, the author quotes Libby Rodney, the Harris poll's chief strategy officer and futurist, as saying, "Our data shows that even high earners are financially anxious. They're living the illusion of affluence while privately juggling credit cards, debt, and survival strategies." This is really interesting. As you drive around town and you see people in these nice new vehicles, I suspect many of those folks have a very large vehicle payment. Some may even struggle to make that payment month after month. Some people may not even be able to afford to maintain those vehicles the way they are supposed to be maintained because they are living hand to mouth. As you drive through some neighborhoods and you look at people living in these nice homes, some of them can't even afford to furnish the home entirely. They are doing their best just to make the monthly mortgage payment. Some have been caught off guard by a larger monthly mortgage payment because their property tax assessment went up. That caused the mortgage company to adjust the monthly mortgage payment. The same goes for insurance. Insurance carriers have raised premiums in recent years. Well, mortgage companies have to adjust the monthly payment, and a lot of people have been unprepared for those increases. Getting back to the article, the author said, those making $200,000 or more have resorted to financial tactics that are often associated with less wealthy consumers. For example, 64% said they've used reward points to pay for essentials. 50% have used buy now, pay later plans for purchases under $100. And 46% rely on credit cards to make ends meet. I hate to hear about this, my friends. If you are relying on credit cards to make ends meet, that is not a good situation at all, especially given the high levels of interest that credit card companies are charging right now. If you have to use a buy now, pay later plan for a purchase under $100, I think that should be a red flag. Some folks may want to take a good hard look at their monthly budget and find ways to cut costs so they don't have to rely on credit cards and buy now, pay later plans. Maybe these folks could cut out some of their spending at restaurants or the drive-thru. Maybe some people could cut back on coffee. Make that at home. Don't buy it through the drive-thru. Maybe some folks could get rid of streaming apps. There are a lot of free movies on YouTube. Why pay for some of these expensive streaming services if you really can't afford it? I think that some folks may also want to take a good, close look at what they are spending at retail locations. Instead of buying new clothing, consider buying pre-owned clothing at Goodwill or at a garage sale. Sometimes you can go to Goodwill and find clothes that have never been worn before. These are clothes that were donated by a variety of different companies. They may be last season's clothes, and the company decided to give them to Goodwill. Sometimes you can save a lot of money doing that, as opposed to paying big money at the mall for new clothes. Even if you go to somewhere like Walmart, their clothes are not cheap anymore. They really have gotten quite expensive in some cases. Getting back to the article, the author said, to stay financially afloat, people are currently engaged in or considering side hustles, 61% of people. Selling personal items, 53%. Skipping meals, 41%. Renting out all or part of their home, 41%. And resorting to debt consolidation or bankruptcy, 38%. As I read this, it reminds me of what was going on during the 2008 Great Financial Crisis. Back then, a lot of people started selling personal items. A lot of pawn shops got flooded with personal property. I vividly remember watching a program, and the host was interviewing someone who worked at a pawn shop in an affluent area of Florida. And that guy was talking about how they had taken in a massive number of high-end watches, such as Rolexes. Even people living in these wealthy areas of Florida were feeling the pinch financially, and they were resorting to selling personal items to stay afloat financially. So it's interesting to read about this in this article. And the percentage of people doing that is really quite high. Now keep in mind, this is a survey, so the results may not be truly representative of what's really going on nationwide. Yet, this is interesting information. I'm curious what you folks think about all of this. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. as an Amazon associate I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.